This is the only defending tutorial that you need. Yes guys, today we will be focusing on three main elements of defending. Those are right stick switching, jockeying and second man pressing in combination with anticipation. So guys, why is right stick switching so important? Pay close attention to this example. I want you guys to know one thing and one thing only. Whenever we are defending, the goal isn't to just get the ball back. Instead, the goal is to trap the opponent in a way that he is forced to give us the ball back or to turn back, right? See, whenever we are defending, even if we don't get the ball back, but the opponent turns back and he is forced to recycle the play, that is a win for us. Once we integrate this kind of mindset when we are defending, not only are we more composed, but we are also more calm. So see, in this situation, we will focus on applying pressure. The first goal is to apply pressure. Why are we able to apply pressure? We are able to apply pressure on this guy manually because he is the only one that is on the ball right now. There are no attacking threats. So whenever you see that the opponent is isolated, he is alone, you can apply pressure on him, right? See, we do that, but now we see, okay, if I press, he will play the ball into Capdevila and he will have all this space to exploit. Whenever the opponent is attacking us, we have to make sure that we do not give him any space. If we give him space, he will be through on goal, right? So just by keeping that in mind, I will start jockeying back, right? Now I will switch to Lucio, then I will switch to Bellingham, then I will switch to Ginola, right? Similarly, by doing so, I have made sure that I have cut all of his passes, right? Now he can also not pass the ball back to Hullet, right? How is this possible? By right stick switching. We all know the German crossing is very overpowered in FIFA 23. You can see this Hullet is making the run, so that is why we will switch to our center back and run back with him, right? Now the opponent will not pass the ball into Hullet and he is forced to think of something else. Again, we will force him to take this power shot. Now look at this defending example again. How we are able to trap him by first applying pressure when he was isolated and then marking all his passing lanes, right? This is the goal. And how can you do that? Only by incorporating right stick switching. I will give you a right stick switching drill later on in the video that will help you perfect the way you right stick switch, right? Once again, over here, how are we able to get the ball back? By using the key elements of switching. Pay attention, right? He plays the ball to his Hullet and we can already see that Zidane is making the run. How are we able to see these passes? By paying attention to the opponent's players, right? Most of the people who I coach, they just focus on the ball carrier, the guy who is holding the ball, who's in the ball position. But instead, you have to focus on two things. Also the ball carrier as well as the other players on the pitch, right? I have my eyes on Zidane, my eyes on R9 and as well as Ronaldinho. This way I can see, okay, if he decides to make a pass to any of them, I am covering them, right? So I try to cover Zidane, and of course you cannot always cover everyone. He finds the pass into R9, right? Now what do I need to do? I need to make sure that one, he's not able to skill move past me because R9 is very good when it comes to dribbling, right? He has 5-star weak foot and 5-star skills. Once again, which button am I using? The slow jockey buttons. You can see all the buttons that I am using. Whenever the opponent is one-on-one with you and he has an attacker who can do skill moves as well as he has a weak foot, then in these situations, the best button to use is the L2 jockey button, slow jockey. Why? Because when you are doing slow jockey, you have more control over your player and you can mirror the opponent easily and your defensive positioning is just more compact, right? By doing so, we make sure that he is not able to skill past us, right? You see, he will do an L1 stop in order to make an elastico, reverse elastico. And we see that this Zidane is making a run. We quickly switch to Bellingham and get the ball back. You see how we use slow jockey in combination with right stick switching and anticipation to get the ball back. Okay, now see, in this situation, once again, the opponent is running and he is kind of isolated. He has two options, R9 and Ronaldinho. I can see that two of my center backs are already marking these two guys. So what do? With my right back, I decide to attack this guy. I decide to run at him. Which buttons am I using? I am using the running jockey, which is L2 plus R2, right? The guy is also not having a ball contact. What do I mean by ball contact? Our opponent does not have a ball contact when the ball is away from his feet. And when does that actually happen? That happens when the opponent is either one, sprinting, or he exits a skill move, right? As you can see, the ball is further away from Aloveran's feet. I see this as an opportunity to get the ball back, and that is the best way to tackle the ball when he is not having a ball contact, right? So I will decide to run at him. like I showed you guys before as well. But the moment I see, okay, he decides to slow down and he wants to do a ball roll, I will switch back to Bellingham and then use L2R2 jockey again to cover the pass inside to Ronaldinho. That is the most obvious pass. You can see how we are able to use these concepts in the game, right? The concepts of anticipation, paying attention to the opponent, and the running jockey. And he decides not to pass the ball. And we are also using second man pressure. Why do we use second man pressure? The goal is to apply some pressure on the opponent as well. If you just let him run with the ball or let him do his thing and you are just running away and trying to mark the passes, then you are giving him too much time to think. And that is counterproductive. You want to mark passes, but you also want to make sure that you are not giving him too much time to think. That we use the second man press to apply sustained pressure, right? We want to have some level of pressure that, okay, we show him you cannot attack us freely because we are applying second man press on you. Also, we can use the L1 switch and switch back to the player who's doing the second man press and get the ball back from you, right? This way, he's able to think of something else. We are able to trap him and now he is forced to turn back. Remember what I said in the beginning of the video. Whenever the opponent turns back, that is a win for us. So he turns back, we use second man press in combination with switching, and he ends up giving us the ball back. Now in this situation, once again, you can see a lot of right stick switching in combination with second man pressing. The opponent is attacking us. We are using second man press, covering his dangerous passes with L2R2 button, with the jockey button, and basically not giving him any space. Whenever he comes close, does a skill move, we get the ball back from him. In this situation, once again, you will see the opponent is threatening us down the wing. This is a very crucial position. What can we do? We use the second man press and then we cover his recycle because this is the most obvious option. Now we need to think of this pass into Messi, so we should switch to Bellingham, right? We do exactly that. We apply second man pressure. We are able to keep the shape. Slow jockey when he is close, and in combination with second man press, eventually we get the ball back, right? Guys, defending isn't about smashing buttons. It requires logical and critical thinking as well as having a muscle memory. You should know the meta of the game. The meta is to use the German crosses, use the byline passes, quick driven passes. If you know all these things and if you have good game knowledge, you can improve your anticipation. Once your anticipation has improved, you can become a better defender when it comes to FIFA, right? By using these concepts, not only are you able to improve your anticipation in the long run, but also improve the way you defend, not only in FIFA 23, but also the titles to come. So guys, the right stick switching drill is simple. If you have two controllers, connect them both, go into a game of kickoff, and then just practice your right stick switching like this. This will allow you to build a muscle memory and also improve your directions with the right stick. Once you know where you will flick the right stick in order to switch to the players you want to, then it will become easy.